Hi and welcome.
On the troll.
Hi and welcome. Welcome back to Mzansi. We're back again. It is that time of the night. Guys, I won't apologize because I don't even deserve to apologize at this point in time. But unfortunately, guys, if you have a driver and a conductor and everything at once, you're bound to have problems at some point. You are bound to be late. So we had a problem that started earlier as maybe, let's say 10, which is the right time. Let's say 10, and up until up until now, I couldn't figure out some of the issues until I decided to remember my skills, some of them. Then I went to use a bit of Python. Now I think some of them have been solved. So, but we are here, guys. If some of you are sleeping already, it's okay. No one will hold it against you. But we couldn't sleep or couldn't leave this office before we put these things in order. So now we are here. We are with you. This is for you. We could have just left when we saw that we couldn't solve these things, but we fought up until now. So that means we did not sleep. It's Friday, it's 2 in the morning. We don't drink. We're not drunk by all means. Only maybe Saturday. By a bit of it's Friday, Saturday. Sorry, that's how late I am. Maybe we are drunk through our sleep. We want to go sleep. Maybe. But yes, there are many things that are happening in South Africa. One of them is that Walus is being released.
Walus
is going back to Poland.
The person who murdered in cold blood a very revolutionary leader that did in South Africa.
We are not gonna go there. It's fine. Let's leave it like that. Because I just wanted to update. I don't want to say more. I don't want to put any opinion on it. Let's just update you.
This is
like that. And then let's get started with the show.
Breaks my heart though. Breaks my heart. But it's fine. We move. South Africa, Rainbow Nation. We forgive. Anker. Very forgiving nation, Tina. I like it for us. So yes, guys, welcome back to the Mzansi Reality YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us here again for another video. Yes, we are late. I know. I'm very sorry. I apologize. I apologize on Mzansi Reality's behalf. Some of it also had to do with me. Yes, it's been tough. It's been tough covering Brigadier Ngininda's evidence. But we soldier on. We do not give up. Everything he says, all of those rumblings and mumblings, we will take it for what they are and we'll analyze them here on Mzansi Reality and try to make sense of what he's saying. So the court proceedings today started with Ramasipili being late. Apparently, Mr. Mnisi said that he would stand in for him. He had sent a message that he was going to take a detour road because of the traffic. The judge expressed that there was an accident involving a truck or something, and he said that the road was still open, but Bundaba, the people who were stopping to see what was going on instead of, traveling. I don't know how that works. And Nisi put it on record also that he will be standing in for him. But luckily he walked in as Mshololo was cross-examining. It didn't take that long. He was able to make it. I think it was around 15 or 20 minutes later. Yeah, so Mshololo started with her cross-examination of Brigadier Ngininda by letting him know that she is also going to ask him questions on the same evidence that he testified about, that he's already answered, but she needs new answers for the purpose of her cross-examination. She was kind of putting disclaimers ahead, a couple of disclaimers that Brigadier Ngininda needed to understand, warming him up to answer the question, yes or no. Try to be as brief as you possibly can. you can be. Ngininda said that he understood, and Mshololo said, so I will be putting questions and you will be answering, not vice versa. You are not asking me, you are answering, and I'm putting questions. Ngininda said that he understood, but where he does not understand the question, he may seek clarity, then otherwise he will give the wrong answer. Has he given a wrong answer? I don't know. I'm so tired of him. I don't know, right or wrong, what and what. All I hear is diversion. It's hard. So Mshololo also asked that he is brief in his answering. He must be brief in his answering because the more he continues to talk, the more she gets confused, and she doesn't want to get confused. So, yeah, I agreed with her there. I agreed. I had no complaints. And if he can just be straight to the answer, well, Ngininda said he will try his best, but it will also depend on how loaded the question is. But he said that he will do his best. And Mshololo said also, if I need an explanation, I will indicate to you. And Ngininda said, yeah, he sounded a bit skeptical, I won't lie. It's almost as if he had a problem with that. But he said that he understood, and he said, let's see how it goes. So Mshololo reminded him that he testified last year in around October, November for the trial within a trial, and that he has placed on record his skills and qualifications in the trial within a trial. Ngininda said he also confirmed it in his evidence in chief with Advocate Baloyi in the main trial that indeed he did put his career on record, or career history. Well, Mshololo then said that what she picked up was that Advocate Baloyi did say that on his evidence in chief in the main trial that he did go through his career history in the trial within a trial. And then he conceded and said yes, because he was about to start another argument regarding that, to say no, even in the main trial I did go through my record. But also she apologized in advance because she was kind of preempting that she might have a slip of a tongue when it comes to referring him to a brigadier and sometimes a colonel. So she was apologizing in advance that it would be a slip of a tongue. It's not something that she will be doing on purpose. And then Mshololo said that from the career history you have placed before this court, Mshololo asked Brigadier Ngininda to break it down for her in brief from the period that he was employed in the SAPS and the duration that he remained on each and every department that he's worked in. So Ngininda said that he did not prepare for that, but he could summarize. He said that he could not be specific or on the periods to say that he remained in which department for how long. But he started off by saying that after college, he was attached to the specialized unit. He was a constable. Then he became a sergeant. He was still with the specialized unit. And thereafter, he worked at the anti-hijacking unit, a detective unit dealing with hijackings in the East Rand. He said that it was his first time that he had exposure to the detective environment around 2003. Then after that, he was moved to Brixton VIS, Vehicle Identification Division. It was situated at Brixton in Johannesburg. He was still a detective then, and it was in this investigation unit. Thereafter, he moved to the Johannesburg Organized Crime, DPCI, in the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. Isn't DPCI the Hawks? I'm just asking. Because previously when they mentioned to DPCI, they were kind of talking like it was the Hawks. And his rank, he was a warrant officer.
Yeah, it's Hawks.
It's Hawks. So he has worked in the Hawks. It's the Johannesburg Organized Crime, DPCI, in Johannesburg Stock Exchange. And he said that he was a warrant officer then, and he was an inspector around the time. Thereafter, he said that he moved to Johannesburg VIS, situated in Ayrton, around Boyson's area, still under investigation. Then he was promoted in 2009 to the captain's rank under Vereeniging and the Vehicle Investigations Unit in Vereeniging in the Vaal. Then he was moved to the provincial detectives in Gauteng to run some investigation there. Then he was moved to the office of the National Commissioner. Then the National Commissioner was General Ria Piecha under a multi-divisionary task team investigating unit. He said that it was a task team that was falling directly under the National Commissioner or General Piecha. And around that time, he said that he was also promoted to the rank of a lieutenant colonel. Thereafter, he was sent back to the provincial detectives as well as to do investigations there. And he said that when he was sent back to Vereeniging, VIS, to the provincial office in Gauteng, he was also responsible for the establishment of the taxi violence unit at the provincial office. And then he became a commander of that unit, which was established. So here I'm getting a pattern that this whole division of units, now he's talking about him being the leader of a cold case unit. So it's not the first time that he's formulated a unit. He's had the taxi violence unit, the fact that he was actually the one who was leading it. And I've always been wondering, Kutsi, why most of these police officers that come and testify have been in this taxi violence unit. So to find out that he's the one who established it under the National Commissioner or former National Commissioner Ria Piecha is very interesting in my opinion. And then he became a commander of that unit when it was established. And then from the head office, he was sent back to the provincial office where he did some further investigations at provincial level on high profile matters. Then he was sent back again to the national head office in 2017 or early 2018 under the then National Commissioner, focusing on high-profile matters. It was a pilot project of the cold case unit. He was then promoted to the rank of full colonel from lieutenant colonel, and then he was appointed as a commander when the cold case unit was finalized. He said that in 2021, he was promoted to the rank of a brigadier as the national head of the provincial cold case unit, because he said there were branches that were going to all 9 provinces. I don't know whether they have been established right now or they are still going to the 9 provinces. And he said that he was appointed as the head of all the cold case units in all the provinces, all 9 provinces. And he said he's the national head of the cold case unit. He's the boss of it. And that has been the position up to today. And he added that when he was sent to the head office, the last time he was also responsible for the creation of the cold case unit because there was none in the police. So the concept and the rolling out, he was appointed as the commander, as it was with the taxi violence unit. And Mshololo asked him which year was it when he created this unit. Ngininda said that he doesn't know the date, but the structure has a date. It was formalized. It was a formalized unit. And he kept emphasizing that it was a formalized unit. He said that he will get the date and get back to the court. And when he kept emphasizing it was a formalized unit, I felt like he was responding to someone or someone who's maybe making allegations. What do you think?
Yeah.
It was a formalized unit. I'm like, don't tell me you are in the social media street and looking at what people are saying. You will be stressed. Just answer. Just answer the questions. If you're going to be entertaining the court of public opinion, you're going to be very busy. Then Mshololo then asked him, I want to believe that you were also taking cases to court as you were working on all these units, and the cases that you investigated, they would eventually end up in court. And Brigadier Ngininda said yes. So what I'm getting from his career profile is that he is a jack of all trades. Master, I don't know of which, but he's a jack of all trades. He's worked in almost a variety of, types of crimes. I don't know what his speciality is. I can't tell. It's a lot of mixed masala going on. There are some police officers, which they are strong when it comes to investigation. There are some, they are strong when it comes to, certain types of, but with him, it's so varied and so vast. I don't know whether it is a strength or a weakness. I don't know yet. I can't tell, but this variety when you're dealing with all types of criminal investigations, it is, I don't know, it doesn't make me comfortable. It doesn't make me comfortable. I believe in mastering at least one or two stuff, not being a jack of all trades. Being a jack of all trades is kind of tricky. You have to master at least one. Yabo? So then Mshololo said, and you'd be taking witnesses to court and informing them on what to do when they're in court. And Ngininda said not necessarily. His role would be at the request of the NPA to bring the witnesses for consultations, and then perhaps the state prosecutor would then guide them in terms of what would be led. But there would be instances where he would pick up witnesses from point A to court for consultations, and also during the court proceedings, if it's those witnesses who don't transport or don't have transport, or if the situation or the matter that they're investigating was posing some threat, then they needed to give security. But either than that, the witnesses would come to court on their own, consult and meet and go back in cases there were no difficulties in terms of safety. So Mshololo then asked, in cases of murder wherein there is a deceased family, would you normally inform them if the matter is going to trial, or for whatever reason would you update the family with such information? Because already there's a track record of Brigadier Ngininda not having interaction with the Meyiwa family at all. The only time that he has spoken on that interaction was when he was not even the lead investigator of the case. He was sent by another police officer, and he was there as a team back in 2016, 2015, and they went and collected Mr. Hlophe's statement. Right? That's the only time that he had interaction with the family. Other than that, nope. No. But he has a reason for it. He gave his reason as to why it unfolded like that. Brigadier Ngininda said, we absolutely do. And Mshololo asked him, in this case, did you go to the family of Senzo Meyiwa to inform them that the case is going to trial and to inform them of every development in this case? And Ngininda said, no. The reasons thereof, Afriforum came on board much earlier, before even these accused were arrested. So now I'm getting, okay, Afriforum came on board before the accused were arrested. That to me is a highlight. Hold it like that. And then he said that when they were still dealing with the allegations of whether people came in right at the beginning, just after he was appointed, and then they placed themselves as the watching brief and understanding that there was anything that they needed to communicate to the family, it had to be done through them. This is Afriforum saying that if the police needed to investigate or to update the family on anything, then they needed to go through them first. Okay, so that has been the position up to today, according to Brigadier Ngininda. So whatever progress that they are making, including the date of the first appearance, because they were there, it was arranged through Afriforum. They brought some of the family members leading up to the start of this trial and the dates that they were having. So the line of communication when Afriforum came on board was Afriforum couldn't pass as that line, So they placed themselves on record, is what Brigadier Ngininda said, that Afriforum placed themselves on record and that documents supporting such. So I'm getting a sense that, yes, Afriforum definitely played a huge role when it came to putting pressure on this investigation to start or continue or whatever, to have movement of some sort. Okay, that we can never take them away or take that away from them, the influence that they had when it went to getting this case in motion again. However, right now we are all confused, right? Right now we are all confused. We don't know why Afriforum now they are accepting of this version. I don't know. I don't know what's happening, but we'll see in the end. Maybe in the end it will all make sense. But right now all of us are like, but what is going on? You understand? So now, as he said that Mshololo said that, was it Mshololo? No, it was Brigadier Ngininda was continuing now to speak and give evidence about what was happening.
Yeah.
So he was saying that specifically the person that they were dealing with was Advocate Nell himself, Nell. And he mentioned another name by the name Andrew Lisk. The team of Afriforum was communicating with them. Then they would communicate insofar as the progress up to the inception of the trial, and whatever communication it went to them up to today. So he's saying up to now, up to this point that we're at, Afriforum is still watching brief for the Meyiwa family. But I am kind of upset with them a bit that there was a time where it felt like they were not even communicating with the family. But maybe it has been resolved now. We don't know. But it feels like, are they updating the Meyiwa family? We don't know. So they never had a line in sight where they said that they were withdrawing so they can have access to the family. Mshololo then asked him, was there an agreement between the South African Police Service or the National Prosecution Authority and Afriforum that your duties as the SAPS to update the family in this matter will be taken away by the watching brief, since they were already in place, in particular the time when this case had already started. So Ngininda said that it was an unofficial arrangement, because how it came about for him to know Afriforum wrote directly to the Office of the National Commissioner. Ngininda said that he was informed by the National Commissioner that there is an engagement and it was formal. It was a formal communication. It wasn't just a call. So looks like Afriforum was there in the Benakant, not dealing with them via the phone. They went straight to the Office of the National Commissioner. I mean, we can all remember that press briefing that they had with Senzo Meyiwa, that media briefing. That's when we were all like, wait a minute, what is going on with this case? Now the Meyiwa family had to now recruit Afriforum. We were all shocked around that time. Then he said thereafter he was directed to go and meet them as the investigating officer, and Ngininda said the same was done to the NPA. And Mshololo asked, I take it that you know that when you bring the witness in court, you will inform them that they are not allowed to stay in court and listen to the evidence if they have not yet testified. Ngininda said that he was aware. Okay, it's very interesting that he was aware.
Yes.
The moment the consultation and the leading of witness is done, that happens when you hand over the NPA and they then run. He said that that's why he said in many occasions that some of the records or evidence where he was referred to, he's always said that he was unable to comment because he was not in court. So he is thinking that by saying whenever a record is read to him of another witness who's testified, then he can say, oh, I cannot comment on it because I was not in court. Is him proving that he didn't listen to the proceeding.
Yeah.
Hey, the way this man reasons is very interesting. And he uses it as well to not answer questions that he doesn't want to answer. Yeah, but so now it's like one thing that works for two situations, you know, in his favor. So he's saying that there hasn't been any situation where he personally picked up witnesses and brought them to court.
You know, as we are talking about this cold case unit, then I go to Google. I mean, it's government thing, right?
Yes.
That should be there.
Yes.
When I Google cold case leader, SAPS cold case unit leader, it is appearing there that Brigadier Bafana Ngininda is responsible. But guess what? This is what is interesting. It only appears on the 26th of November 2023. That's a thing with this Wikipedia. It does remember the dates.
Around the time that he testified for the first time.
It does remember the dates. You cannot hide the dates. And then you see here, National Cold Case Unit, and then they tell you what is happening. They will tell you about the cases that their cases are speed cases.
Speed cases. So you guys are getting a picture of what's going on here. I saw a screenshot. I couldn't get the time to Google myself, but I saw a screenshot of somebody on this internet street. They had actually Googled this cold case unit and they were saying that, you know what, it's there, it exists. But then now seeing that the Google is able to pull up the date and it's saying that this information came online on the 23rd of November 2023. And then I remember that's around the same period, October, November 2023, that Brigadier Ngininda was testifying in the trial within a trial. And he first brought it up, this whole cold case unit situation that most of us found strange and we were questioning it. But most importantly, the whistleblower, Patricia Mashale, was also questioning it around the time. And now it just feels like Brigadier Ngininda is kind of allegedly, in my opinion, responding to the allegations that she's making. Okay, one of them was, of course, that there's no such thing as a cold case unit. Okay, that's what the allegations were at the time. And now it's on the internet. I remember Googling also last year and I couldn't find it. I found it very strange. I could not find it. But now it exists and it says that the commander of it is Brigadier Bafana Ngininda. Isn't he Bongani Ngininda? Or maybe it's both Bafana and Bongani Ngininda. Maybe it's both his names. But yes, now it's appearing on the Google. Isaiah Kala, guys. So Ngininda said that he knew that there are exceptions when it came to expert witnesses, and he knew that they do sit in court when evidence is in relation to the expertise that they're led. And we can all remember the ballistic expert for the defense, Mr. Peter. He was sitting in while Mangena was testifying. I remember that all too well. So Mshololo then said that she wanted to know if he had an understanding that a witness is not supposed to sit and listen to the evidence. Ngininda said that except for expert witnesses, that's his understanding. But some witnesses are laymen in terms of the law, unless if they are told, they would not know what to do. And he said that he's not referring to anyone specific, but it's not the same as in dealing with a police officer, a prosecutor, or an attorney who is well equipped with the proceedings of the court. Now, Mshololo said, but in this case, to be specific, I'm referring to yourself, a senior police officer who is also busy with studies of a law degree. And Ngininda said, yes, if it's me, I will know what to do. So Mshololo then said, so a witness of your caliber cannot be expected to sit in court in order for him to be able to answer questions at a time when he testifies. Ngininda said that he would refer to himself, that he would not do that, but circumstances differ, hence he was not in court when evidence was led. Funny how Mokgola was there almost every day at some point, even handing out stuff to the prosecutors. There, sitting behind Advocate Baloyi and Sibanda there, you know. And I always used to ask myself, there was even a point where Ubab Lion Zwane pointed at her in the court, and I think she was instructed to go outside or something because she was going to testify. Do you guys remember that?
Yes, I remember that.
So what was Mokgola doing in court? And I remember some people saying, no, it's her job. She's supposed to be there. But she was a witness. She's come to testify not once, but twice. That's strange.
Very strange.
So Mshololo now started her cross-examination by asking Ngininda, yesterday you testified that accused number 5 on the 26th of October 2014 as per evidence of Constable Zungu, he was at Basotong Hostel. Ngininda said that he remembers saying as per the statement of Zungu, not in so much as the evidence. Also Gwabini, said that all the accused were at Basotong Hostel, and he further emphasized that he was not in court when Constable Zungu testified. Mshololo then said to him, you don't have to be in court when someone is testifying in order for you to be able to respond. Which is true.
Very true.
Ngininda said that it's a difficulty for him to comment about what a person said in court while he was not in court. Why?
Because he was not in court. That's what he says. He must be in court for him to understand everything. But you were investigating this whole thing. So there is no statement that shouldn't have passed your eyes and scrutiny.
And he said that's why he referred to what he could see in the statement and what is contained in the statement. But he has to confirm something that someone said in court that he was not privy to. So if the question arises from counsel to say, show us on the record where this person said this, how will I be able to indicate that? You know, the gag is he's twisting scenarios here. There's no lawyer that will ask him to show them what a witness who testified in their absence said on the record.
Yes.
I don't recall anything of that such happening. And then they usually refer to the record to let you know
what has that
said.
person said compared to the statement.
And then when your duty is to confirm or deny. That's it. It's not really complicated, you know. It's not.
No, it's not.
Then Mshololo said, I take it you know the procedure and what you should be doing. She went on to the statement of Yolanda Muyeng and Tsupiwa Christopher Matlo. So Mshololo asked him, did I hear you correctly yesterday when you said that you got the information that accused number 5 used to hire cars in the previous years? Ngininda said that what he said in the statement of Gwabini made an indication that the vehicle that was used by accused number 5, according to his observation, that was used on the day of the incident was possibly a hired car because it had a tag to the effect of something called VIS. That is how he described it. And Mshololo asked him, but you never said that yesterday. Ngininda said that he thinks he would have said it. Advocate Baloyi came to his rescue as well, saying that he said it. He said it has something that that looked like a permit on the windscreen. Guys, did he say it? Nah, sometimes I feel like I'm going crazy.
Well, he did talk about the hiring company, something, but there was something to that nature. Not to say it was a sure thing. He was not sure.
He was not sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, because now I was like, I'm not sure if I heard that. It missed me, I must have lost it in the long explanations. So yeah, Ngininda said that is why now the investigation in trying to establish whether accused number 5 was utilizing a hired motor vehicle started, and it led to the statement that Advocate Mshololo was referring him to, because that's when he said this Bunukwani shuttle services was liquidated. They struggled to find those old directors and also the records. Eventually, they found the lady who gave an affidavit based on what she could find. Even though it was not relevant to the date that they were looking for, she said that she was still searching and that she would revert back to them. And that is still the position. So Mshololo asked him to refer them to the statement.
I want you to look at the pattern here. Where the doubt must be created, there is no surety. This comes from DNA, because DNA is the only thing that can say these people at some point were in that house. This goes on to the bullet. This goes now on to the car that was hired. So now he presents the car that was hired in 2015, and then he says he's not sure if that car was never, or a car similar to that was never hired from that whole company that is owned by one person, a woman for that matter, and it got liquidated. But most importantly, they got all the records, but the 2014 one. Now, in your own head, if you're thinking, you must know that thing is not there. And it's not because they didn't get it. No, it is not there. It is not there. So instead of saying it is not there, we are going to say we couldn't find it. Because for some reasons, known to other people, anything is possible. If it's not found, it can be found. And it can be found very cooked, nicely. Allegedly, that's basically what I want to look at. Most of the things that seem to be exonerating these people, they are not sure about.
Yeah, they're not sure.
No, they're not sure about, and it's not a mistake. I can point a lot with Mapisa. It's DNA, because they couldn't put Mapisa in the puzzle, in my opinion. And now the DNA that it was excluding everyone is including Mapisa.
With 4 regions. 4 regions of the 16.
So you can tell how the case is built, in my opinion. If you are not a person who lacks when it comes to thinking, you can almost tell everything that is required. Obvious. If that thing was there, they would have came back with it.
Yes.
They failed using the what is the system? NATIS system. Looking at the tickets, they failed to find something tangible. And now all of a sudden the company that was owned by one person, of cars for that matter, was liquidated.
It's one person who owned the company. The car hire company had one director, because initially he had created an impression that there were many directors and he was looking for all of them, and then he came to find out that it was one director who was a female. Yeah. And they deposed the statement in relation to that. However, they couldn't pull records.
Is it Boykano or Bonokwan?
2015. What is it?
What is the name of the company?
Oh, Bunukwani or something like that. Let me look it up.
Can you? No, I'll look it up. Just spell it for me.
Let me look for the spelling.
Yeah, because even if it was liquidated, it should be at least, if it's a company that was registered, should be available. It was working with the website, because you obviously get to know them through website.
I hear you.
So that is something that should be available. It surprises me because I've been trying to find it.
Is it not appearing on Google?
Yeah, on this boikanyo shuttles and transfers. And it's a shuttles and transfers.
Bunukwani is how they were pronouncing it. BONOKWA.
BONOKW.
KWANE. If it's not spelled like this, then it's OANE. Bunukwani. If it's not with a W, it's
I don't know. Let's give others a chance. Maybe
guys,
they will be able to find.
Let's Google this shuttle service.
It is just I don't know, man.
So try Bunukwani with a W first, and then try Bunukwani with an O. So BONOK Bunukwani WANE first.
Yeah.
And then try BONOKOE Bunukwa KANE.
Yeah, no, continue. It's fine.
So let's Google this company and see if it existed or what. Because the one you are finding, it wasn't pronounced like that. They said Bunukwani. What's the one you found?
No, it's Boikan.
It wasn't Boikan, it's Bunukwani. Mshololo then asked him to refer them to that statement that he shared yesterday of Yolanda Muyeng, and it was taken by Mokoena. So Ngininda said that he is the one who requested Muyeng to make that statement, and Ngininda was not done. He further said that upon her recovering the documents attached, then Mshololo was like, no, we're still going there, Brigadier Ngininda. I said, who had requested the person to make the statement? Ngininda said it was him. Okay, stop there. That was Mshololo trying to
confine.
I think all of us are tired at this point of the paragraphs and the essays and the blah 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 blah. Oh my God. Oh, guys, going through this man's evidence has been complete hell for me. So I laughed at this point. I was like, yo, Mshololo, it's almost as if you can read the room, sana, because hey, kunzima, because dear Ngininda is a blabber. Then Ngininda read the statement and it read like this: I was the sole director. This is the statement of Yolanda Muyeng. She said I was the sole director. Sole director means she was the only one of Bunukama. Now it was written as Bunukama. Okay. Google that too, guys. BONAKAMA. It has many different names. It's Bunukwani. It's Bunukama. Now it's Bunukama. Please Google BONAKAMA shuttle services as well and tell me if you can find it. Car hire and shuttle until it was liquidated in 2016. It was confronted by Warrant Officer Mokoena. He said she was confronted by Warrant Officer Mokoena from the SAPS. The date was January, or was it March? It says 01/03/2014. So I'm going to assume it's March the 1st, 2014. Not 2014, my apologies, 2024. It's not 2014, 2024. The 1st of March, 2024.
I don't understand why they are looking for cars, Emily, just before you go there. What they should be looking for is that when a liquidated company, give us all the cars that were gray, brown, is it gray or brown?
Yes,
and then can you request, because all those cars, by all means, they should always have a tracker. They were supposed to have a tracker because it's a company that hires cars. Yes, and in any case, how then do you trace them if someone takes and disappear? And then you go to the tracking company. You come with that tracking device and you get all these answers, and then you say, here is you. Here is the car going to Mshololo. And then after that, then you can say, please find this car.
What if the tracker companies also closed down, like the one that was doing Longwe's alleged VW Polo? Remember how? And by the way, yesterday I confused. It wasn't her. They were actually talking about Yolanda Muying. They wasn't talking about the K9 lady. That was for Longwe's car.
Yeah.
I got confused there. My apologies. Disclaimer.
So they just wanna find a brown car. I mean a gray car.
A gray Polo.
The gray Polo. That's it. Okay, you find that gray Polo. If you don't find it, you know that it was there in Boykama company. Then track it. How it was going on the 26th. I mean, that's an investigation, right? That's a proper investigation.
Yes.
You don't just say, oh, I cannot find the records. That's it.
Mina, my problem also arises from how Brigadier Ngininda is doing his thing of investigating. You get the so-called statements from Bob Gwabini. They're telling you about this grey Polo. Then you get a confession that tells you about the grey Polo. Then trial starts. And we go de novo and everything. And then in 2024, in March, you now go and look for the company that hires cars.
Exactly. That is the problem. That's what I'm saying. If you wanted to get it, get it. If you don't want to get it, it's fine. Then leave it. Don't get it because you are pushed by. It seems as if, other than being a prosecutorial in investigation, this one, it is more of a defense investigation. We investigate on the basis of what the defense is asking us.
Is asking in court. Is that fair? Doesn't feel fair. They are waiting for the defense to say something. Then they go investigate. What were you doing all along? What was happening?
Yeah.
Then he said from the SAPS on that date, inquiring about one of my company vehicles, which is a silver Polo Viva registration CT491ZGP. He said he was asked.
So it even has the number plate. They know the number plate. Why not then go
to the
get a tracker?
Or the traffic department to get movements of
Traffic
it.
department?
Oh, Konje, that Motlo guy testified about.
No, that's traffic department would come in if you had a infringement.
Yes, that's what Matlo was testifying.
Yeah, so it was not picked up. It was picked up at some point, but not picked up, as in it doesn't give direction. We want direction. Did it go to
Kutlanong on the 26th of
Simple as
October,
that. That's what tracker is going to help you with. It was going to just solve
so why can't they pull tracker stuff back?
And even if tracker keeps their record, they do keep their records.
Continue to say, I was asked by the police of who rented out the said vehicle during October 2014, and I've checked my records, but I could not find out who, since I did not find these records for the time the inquiry was about. I only found out that Mr. Fisokuhlentuli did rent out the said vehicle in 2016, the 13th of May until 2016, the 16th of May. So that's a period of like 3 days. And he said, I'm also in possession of his contract when he rented out the vehicle, and also copies of the documents that he produced, which is his driver's license and 2 bank cards he used to process the payment of deposit. As per the records of 2014, I will go back and look for them. Mr. Ntuli has produced his driver's license with the ID number. They read it on the record with his picture on it. So Mshololo had to put a disclaimer before asking the brigadier about this particular statement. She said that the questions that she was putting, she wasn't asking them because she's saying that Ngininda was present when the statement was made. She was just asking for his understanding as an IO in this matter, you know, investigating officer. And Ngininda said that he understood. Then Mshololo said the statement was taken on the 6th of March 2024. After that, there were any follow-ups that were made to check if the records prior to this one can be recovered or not. Ngininda said yes, there had been extensive follow-up, but up to today, there hasn't been any success from her, the director of the company, insofar as finding any records.
We leave the window open in case a part is needed. Then we're gonna come with a part. That's how it feels like to me. That's how it feels like. And I'm not saying that's, but that's how it feels like. We leave the window open, leave the space there, fill in the missing word. If we need to, and they're probing that so hard, then bring it in a certain way, one way or another. That's the feeling you get.
Yeah.
While we are saying that, please like the video, press that like button, and thank you for renewing the membership from Darwin. Thank you.
Mshololo said that there were no records. You did not find any records. You did not find any records regarding hiring of the motor vehicle during the period of 2014. Ngininda said that that was not his understanding. Okay. He understands her to be saying that she could not find the record of 2014 because the company is liquidated. However, she will go and look. So it's not the same situation as someone who said,
how did you find these ones of the 2016?
She looked.
And then she found the 2016. Wherever she looked, it must have had 2014 files, right?
Yes, in a normal world, yes. In a normal circumstance, yes.
It's not like we're talking about you storing huge data, just information about people taking your
customers, your clients. Yes, yes. Your clients, especially if they are irregular, like how Ngininda is trying to portray to the court that Mr. Ntuli might have been a regular of hiring cars. You understand what I'm saying? It's not a client that you will go in and struggle to find in your system. No. So also he said that it's not the same situation as someone who said, I've checked the records of 2014, I have them, and this person has not hired the vehicle. He does not have the record to make a finding as to whether this person hired the vehicle or not. So in his hunch, Brigadier Ngininda is hoping
he
that
believes the West.
Hired a polo from this company.
That's how he has been all along. The regions that are there, he believes the West.
Yes.
That's what it has been.
Yes. So Mshololo took him to a document attached to the statement reflecting the documents for accused number 5 and the addresses. Ngininda said it's a contract for the hired vehicle. They hired a vehicle for accused number 5 and the money's involved. She also attached the copies of the driver's license, right? Ngininda said that he could not see the color of the car. The date was the 13th of May 2016. The time was 1500 hours. The return date was 16th of May 2016. Mshololo asked him, do you agree with me that this motor vehicle in terms of the document was hired by Mr. Ntuli in 2016, not in 2014? Ngininda said that the hired document indicates that he hired it in 2016, but it does not indicate that he didn't hire it or hire the car in 2014. When he said this, I felt so defeated. I'm like, I woke at this young. So if it doesn't indicate that he didn't hire the car in 2014, then where is the records to show that he didn't hire it? He didn't hire it. He hired it in 2014. Just find the proof to substantiate this. Because if it's not there, it's not there. It doesn't exist. Let it go. But no, he refuses to let go. He's like, no, it does not mean that he didn't hire the car in 2014. So Mshololo asked also to call the witness as the defense witness if they are not called by the state. So Mshololo has summoned Yolanda Muyeng to come to court if the state is not going to be calling her. Mshololo also asked Ngininda to read Matlo's statement pertaining to accused number 5. And he read the part where Matlo said that he was on duty on Thursday, the 18th of November 2020, when he received a request letter dated 2020 November the 18th through the email from the Office of the National Commissioner, where he was requested to assist with regard to investigation on aspects of a motor vehicle status, including infringement notices as per Foslorus Cas 63610 of 2014. And he was requested to document his findings in terms of section 212 of the blah, 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 blah. He went on and on. But the part that I was interested in is where he said, I hereby declare that the following findings under Mr. Fiso Kuhlentuli. Ngininda said that he was the one who requested this information. And Mshololo asked him to skip the paragraph where they were talking about a Nissan Almera. It looks like it's one of the cars that were mentioned at Matlo's report. Matlo is the one who came from the traffic department, who was testifying on tickets that accused number 5 had allegedly collected or had. And also when he did his driver's license information like that. And he went on to the one about the Polo, the VW Polo. And the date of the infringement was the 14th of July 2013. Okay. And Ngininda also read where it said that Nati's record indicates that in 2015-09-01, Fiso Kuhlentuli approached Langlach, the registration authority, to check quotation of licensing a vehicle with register number BKC034W, and he was assisted by a person identified as R.I. Tamaga, who was an officer there. Mshololo asked him, am I correct to say that this transaction also happened in 2015, not 2014? Ngininda said yes. And they read where the motor vehicle particulars was a white Volkswagen. Date and time of infringement was 2016-02-09 in Johannesburg at 1538. It's also not in 2014. It's 2016.
Yes.
Ngininda read where they said that there was a hatchback Volkswagen Polo, color was gray. The date is 2016, the 20th of March. The vehicle owner, Ngininda read it as Ntuli, but after he was directed a bit there, it said Bonokwani Fleet. Bonokwani Fleet. The company, the hiring company.
This is not Bunukwane Shuttle Services.
It's Fleet now. So that's the name of the same car hire company. Just also Google Bunukwane Fleet, guys. Bunukwana Fleet. B is hey kuningi lamagama lawo.
It's fine. I mean, in any case, we might not find it.
That's the name of the same car hire company. Yolanda made a statement for. So Mshololo said that there was another car for the same company and it was not hired by Mr. Nduli. The infringement was picked up by the camera and he gave the registration number and there was no name of the infringer. One cannot say that accused 3 or 5 was driving that vehicle. So Mshololo said the name of the infringer did not appear as Fiso Kuhlentuli, and Ngininda said equally, so it does not say that he was not the driver.
Yeah.
Ngininda said that they do not know who was the driver because he did not have the record of 2014. He also said that he did not know who was driving on that date, but he can't equally say that accused number 5 was not driving because he doesn't have the evidence. You know how I used to say that this man strikes me as a person who cannot say or receive a no. I'm getting that energy from him.
Yeah.
That he cannot. Can you imagine, Danzi? Didn't Danzi stand a chance? Okay, that's the question I have Didn't stand a chance with a person like this who, when you say this thing is blue, they are saying no, because it's not red, it cannot be blue.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? It's very difficult for me to even fathom that, accused number 2 didn't stand a chance. So Mshololo then said, do you have any information that I don't know of suggesting that on this particular date, 2014 October the 3rd, it was accused 5 who was driving it? Ngininda said, no, I don't have information of a car with a specific registration. What is contained in the docket insofar as the description of the car on the 26th of October 2014, which you referred to as a grey Polo, which was driven by accused 5. So Ngininda still insists that the getaway car was the Polo. Ngininda said, according to the statement of a witness who could not come and testify, it said that he was hiring cars. I'm talking about Gwabini here. And this record proves that indeed he was hiring cars. What? He said he was hiring cars, and because of that, he's guilty. Mshololo then said that she will leave that for argument. So Ngininda said because he was driving it on the 3rd of October, then it must have been driven again on the 26th of October 2014, and he must have went to Kutlanong Street. I have no words. I don't know what to say. I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen anything like that. So he said that there's nowhere where he said Banukana was the infringer. It does not say who was the infringer. So he's also taking out Banukama, the company, from it perhaps being the infringer of it. But when you hire a car, isn't the company the one taking responsibility for everything, even the insurance, right? So even if you get a ticket, aren't they the ones who are supposed to pay for it? It's their vehicle.
I've never hired a car. I'll be lying.
It's their vehicle, but it's not yours. They can penalize you as a client.
Yeah.
Right? For maybe having gotten a ticket.
No, but they write your name because, you were driving the car. They write
so
your
they
license.
write your name.
Yeah.
Then how come there's no name here?
No, this one is a camera base. It's like you are driving and then show a camera.
So who's going to pay for that?
Definitely.
In this situation, it has to be the company.
Yeah, it's a company.
So after that short adjournment, Mshololo put versions of accused 5, and she said that accused 5 will come and tell the court that on the 26th of October 2014, he was at work in Boksburg from 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the afternoon on that day. And thereafter, he moved to George Gore Hostel, wherein he met accused number 3 and 4. Ngininda said that they were later joined by accused number 1 and 2. Yazufaka Zangati, he was there.
Hey, this company is from Benoni.
The company is from Benoni.
That's from Benoni.
Konje, where is Benoni?
Benoni is where things were happening most, isn't it? Benoni side.
Shame Benoni next to Boksburg. Okay, let me move on. Mshololo said that she will display this via the cell phone record. And Mshololo said, secondly, accused number 5 will deny that he was with accused 4, 3, and 2, and 1 at the hostel, Basutung hostel, as per your evidence. Ngininda said it's not correct because his evidence is based on the investigation, and he has referred to the statement of Constable Zungu, Gwabini, and the people who saw accused 5 with the vehicle that he was driving. Guys, from now on, you're going to get a pattern of Exhibit HH and JJ being used a lot. Gwabini's statement, Constable Zungu's statement. Who else? There's a third one, but not Absalom. Absalom was not used much. It's Gwabini statement and Constable Zungu statement and the confession statements of accused number 2. Exhibit HH and JJ. When I say Exhibit HH and JJ, I mean the confessions, both of them, of accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi. He is heavily relying on them. And I have to wonder without Exhibit HH and JJ, does he even have a case?
No.
He's heavily relying on, it's the only thing that he has. And it's troubling. It's very troubling. For every version that Mshololo put, the response was Exhibit HH and JJ. Gwabini said this, Zungu said that. Gwabini said this. It's even worse with Sfiso Gwabini Zungu because he hasn't even come to testify. So Mshololo then said accused number 5 will further tell the court that he never drove a Polo, which has been described by yourself at Basutung Hostel on 26th of October. While the judge had a problem with Advocate Mshololo saying, as you are the one putting this version in court, the judge asked why she's saying it. It's been described by him as the evidence. Well, the judge said that it is described by Brigadier Ngininda, not the witnesses. Are you not listening to yourself? And I'm like, oh, there it goes again. There goes that condescending tone again. Attacking Mshololo in a very disturbing manner. It's good to correct, but when you correct with such harshness, some of us look at you and give you the side eye because you are reinvoking some of our traumas. We've lived our lives with people that corrected us like, we stink. No, and it's particularly Mshololo who's receiving this type of treatment. And then we are expected to look the other way and say, no, it doesn't exist. But Zotini, we move. Then Mshololo rephrased the question to mean that as I have been told by Constable Zungu. So that's what the judge wanted, for her to say it's the version of Constable Zungu and not the version of Ngininda, even though Ngininda has taken ownership of that version as if he's the witness. Remember, Sfiso Gwabini is not here, and because Brigadier Ngininda is the one who commissioned the statement, he has every right to use his statement all of a sudden. I don't know, but that's how it is in that court. So the intention here was obviously to get under Mshololo's skin, but she handled it like a pro. I'm very proud. She handled it well. She resisted the devil. Yeah? Tell me you guys are not proud of that reaction. So Ngininda added Exhibit JJ and HH and Gwabini to say that it's not correct. Accused 5 was driving a Polo. Then Mshololo said accused 5 will also deny that he entered into the bedroom belonging to Gwabini at Basutung Hostel in the presence of Constable Zungu. Ngininda said that is incorrect. Repeated again, Exhibit HH and JJ, which places accused 5 in some of the rooms or a meeting room, but accused 2's version did not have Gwabeni in it. Did accused number 2's confession statements, both of them, say anything about Gwabeni?
No.
Then Mshololo said accused number 5 will come and deny that he planned together with accused 4 the killing of Senzo Meyiwa at the 26th of October at some room as it has been placed in this court. Ngininda said it's not what the evidence reveals and reiterated that Exhibit HH and JJ and the cell phone links linking accused 5 to Kelly Khumalo. He then said that there were efforts for Kelly to delete a number that called accused number 5 belonging to accused number 5, and then it was recovered. Oh, all of these fallacies. Right now, I feel like an invincible call is being created, but they are saying it was recovered. It feels like he's introducing something new here, because the last time Stein testified, he was telling us about a WhatsApp call that didn't exist in 2014. So now, numbers getting deleted and whatnot. This feels like something new is being created here to link Kelly Khumalo and accused number 5. I'm just saying, it's my speculation. And then he said that 30,000 rands was received by accused 5 and to accused 2. And Mshololo reminded him that the evidence is inadmissible in this court. He knows that. He's doing an LLB degree. Okay, he knows that he can't do that. But he continued to Brigadier Ngininda. I mean, who does he listen to? He listens to himself. And he said that it's admissible. Okay. And he's being told that there is a denial. And he's saying that there is a correlation. So Ngininda said that should accused number 2 take the stand and confirm the position of the confession. You are in this trial and it's taking this long because he refuses to do that. So now you're gonna say in court, should he stand and confirm those confessions? Ngininda wanted to explain further, and Mshololo asked him to not be too long. Then Ngininda decided to say that should accused number 2 take a stand and agree to what is contained in that confession that can be used as evidence against the accused, even accused number 5, all the accused. So he said, I also know that, and Mshololo said that was a speculation. Okay, that was a speculation. And Baloyi said that these are legal concepts and the Brigadier Ngininda is correct. No. I could smell the desperation. I don't know how many you guys could. I smelled that desperation. And if I were to deliver a message to accused number 2 is don't you dare. You've come too far. Don't you dare accept that confession, because this is weird. For him to put it like that in front of him like that, it's almost like, what the heck? And that's why Mshololo was also upset and calling it a speculation. It is a speculation because we're in this trial because your accused number 2 refuses to accept those confessions. So Baloyi said that these are legal concepts. And, in my heart also, I feel for Ntanzi. It seems like all those allegations that were being said about, they said, give me Ntanzi. This definitely, he has a target. You can literally feel it. They want him to lie. And accept that confession. It must be his story. It looks like their lifeline, in my opinion, it's on him accepting that confession, allegedly. And of course I'm speculating, but that's what it feels like. And Mshololo asked to move on, otherwise they'd be arguing nothing and wasting the court's time. And Mshololo said that the accused will come and deny that he ever drove the Polo motor vehicle as referred on the 26th of October 2014 to the crime scene at Gudwanong Foslaras, where the incident took place in this matter. And Ngininda said exhibit HH and JJ again. And Mshololo said, okay, accused number 5 will also deny that he ever agreed with the 4 accused together with Ms. Kelly Kumalo to commit the offense. Ngininda said the evidence in the docket says otherwise, and this communication that links that he did speak to Ms. Kelly Kumalo. Zungu Gwabini said that it was discussed at the hostel and they left there with the understanding that they're going to kill the deceased. They then came back, and accused number 1 was the first to announce in the celebration that the deceased had been killed.
Yes.
This is a fallacy. This is a story. This is a story that we are being forced to consume and believe, and it has no substance, in my opinion.
No, it doesn't.
So he said that Gwabeni was shocked because it was before they heard this thing on the news. Now it's Gwabeni who was shocked. Wasn't it Zungu, Constable Zungu?
Yeah, last time I heard it was Zungu.
So why is the testimony of Zungu and Gwabeni intertwined like this? Like, why? Why is it intertwined? It looks like Constable Zungu, I'm gonna speculate, was dragged because Gwabeni did not come, and then Zungu came in to tell Gwabeni's story, allegedly. Seems
as if.
And he said that it was before they heard this thing on the news that Senzo Meyiwa had been shot and killed, and
according to Zungu, when he walked in,
yes,
Gwabeni was busy taking the guns from these people.
Yes.
Now Gwabeni was shocked.
He was shocked now,
while he was taking guns and hiding, according to the judge. wacisha
Now
ikhandlela.
he's the one who was shocked.
Hey madoda. Aziyabuya kuleya court.
And then Mshololo said accused 5 will tell this court that he never received money from Kelly Khumalo and he never gave money to any of the accused.
You know, the issue of Kelly Khumalo would be very simple. Because seemingly she would have withdrawn something like 150, I think,
Yes.
roughly.
1,000.
Is there any withdrawal from Kelly's account? Such as that amount. I mean, it's simple and straightforward. That's why it's not easy to go to Kelly.
Yeah. So Ngininda still hammered on exhibit HH and JJ. He said logic would dictate that if people are acting on common purpose, others will receive money and others will not receive money.
No, there is no way others would receive money and others not receive money. Yes.
Then Mshololo then said, is it speculation before this court that others received money and others didn't receive money? Ngininda said, I've said logic would dictate, and I'm saying logic to me. So Mshololo said, unfortunately, that logic is not evidence before this court. And Ngininda said that he thought that the 2 confessions are admitted before this court. And if they are, it is contained there that accused number 2 received a payment from accused number 5. He's forcing.
What is the judge saying? Because he said is they are not like fully admitted, partially.
Yes, he said they are partially admitted.
What is he saying?
On the trial, but he is saying that they are admitted, and the judge didn't even correct him. He just let it be. And on top of everything else, I saw Ntanzi's face. He was disgusted, in my opinion. He was very upset. He was not well. I don't know how many of you guys saw that. I was like, yo, ziyakhala kule court. And Mshololo went to the picture which showed George Koch Hostel in Johannesburg, not Basutung Hostel. Okay. And Ngininda said that he had not seen markings that is George Koch. And if he was given the opportunity, he would have verified it, since it's an alibi of the accused number 2. But accused number 5, my apologies. But looking at the picture, the building does not tell him that is George Koch. There's nothing that tells him that is George Koch. He said that the best inference was to see where was the cell phone of accused 5 at the time.
It was in Joburg of accused 3. It was in Joburg. Accused 3.
When he's saying he didn't get an opportunity to go, and isn't there a witness that Ngomezulu recently mentioned a doctor and he went and looked for that doctor? This issue of George Koch is as old as last year, and he didn't look it up. And we're supposed to believe that he didn't get an opportunity to look it up. You didn't want to look it up, and it's okay. It's fine. But don't create an impression like you would have went and looked it up. It wouldn't help your case. Okay? If it is true that is George Koch, then Ngininda now made up an excuse of it being a time difference. He said that what he received from Kennel Stain, the downloads are 2 hours, because now Mshololo was asking him that, can you do that? Can you compare the cell phone records and see if around those times indeed they were at George Koch? And he was now talking about the 2 hour difference. So he did not want to come and give a wrong assertion to the court. He went on to say that the real time, it doesn't necessarily mean that it corresponds with the downloads. And now he was acting all
Those
confused.
pictures were taken around what time?
1700 hours.
So that means you need to add 2 hours more. Then 2 hours more, it will put you at what? 19 hours.
1900 hours, which is the exact
hours.
time that they are saying that the incident, or rather Longwe, was outside at Gutlanong Street. So the judge asked for who was in the picture, and Mshololo said that it was accused number 5 and accused number 3. The judge asked if it is proper for him to ask if it's George Koch, and she sent him to do the things, and he comes back and he would come back and then contradict himself or contradict their version as their defense. Then she would be putting her client at risk. this feels like, I don't know, like, I don't like this. I don't like it. I don't like it. Mr. Anonymous, you were right. They were going to come from Mshololo's professionalism, her English, everything is being attacked. Like, I'm like, okay, all right. So you are saying that Mshololo is putting her client at risk by asking Brigadier Ngininda to bring those cell phone records that he's talking about and compare with the times in the pictures. See if indeed they were Judge Gokhosidi, if they come with a different version. So even if they twist it, you would accept it, and then it would be Mshololo's fault. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I just feel some type of way. So Mshololo now moved on to the record, and she did give the time of that picture that she demonstrated. It was 17/28/39 after the judge asked for it. So Mshololo now moved to the record of the 8th of September 2023. This is the statement of Constable Zungu now. Ngininda said with the other investigators, they did not work together for too long. So by January 2015, the docket 375 was registered, and the cracks were right at the beginning when they had to analyze and come with a view. They analyze the docket and come back with a view as to what happened. He said that they differed from there. Things did not kick off on the right direction. But there were times when they engaged together and just went on and off, and subsequently the docket 375 was registered, so things were worse by that time. Ngininda said that they moved apart. There was no formal separation, and he said Yena is the lead investigator. He never said that they should stop reporting to him. They just decided to not report to him. They refused to give that docket to Brigadier Perumel, while he gave the docket 636 to Brigadier Perumel. The differences were about whether there were intruders or no intruders. And Ngininda said that after he viewed the docket, he was in the impression that there were intruders. And the other two investigators were of the view that there were no intruders.
But she won alone.
Yes, he.
But he won alone.
Yeah.
As usual. Please press the like button, guys. Let's do that. Let's help us help the channel. Please press the like button. Please. We are almost there. 392. Yes.
And Mshololo asked him that at the time that you guys split it, I would say that this team of yours only survived for like 4 months. She even counted the months, November, December, January, all the way up until March. Ngininda said that there were no splitting. There was not a split. He said that he heard allegations from the DPP that he stole a statement from Mr. Hlophe, and it was not so. It was there. It was the fourth one. So from January 2019, he said that things just turned and they went their separate ways, And this is where I noticed in Tanzi's face with he's disgusted by the looks of things. And Ngininda said that he was the custodian of 636 docket and he made copies for the rest. He said that they should come back after looking at the docket to meet and discuss the docket. But then in January 2019, the original was sitting at the office of the DPP. Ngininda said that he does not remember Advocate Zakwe, because Mshololo was mentioning an advocate Zakwe, and Ngininda said he doesn't remember them. And DPP advocate Chauke got involved when there were differences, and the involvement of Brigadier Perumel now came along. And Advocate Dutot was the more senior person, followed by Advocate Makete. So Ngininda said that there was no conflict. And Mshololo asked him that at that time when you separated, was there any evidence against the accused that are before court? And Brigadier Ngininda said no. Docket 375 was opened in January 2019. There was no evidence in 636 against the accused. They were still investigating. The judge also came again from Mshololo's English, saying that when you say that there was no evidence, do you hear yourself? Are you hearing yourself? I'm like, so he said that the right annotation that Mshololo should use is that at that stage, no evidence was discovered against any person. And there was always evidence on the 26th of October 2014. He's defending that there has been evidence since the 26th of October 2014. Yes, Judge, there has been evidence, but has it been against the accused? That's a different ballgame. Has it been against the accused before this court? At some point, it was against Zamoguhle Mbatha.
Yes.
So he said that there was evidence where it was discovered, and that is critical, and that is how he understands the language. He asked Ngininda if he is wrong, and Ngininda said he's not wrong. Why are you seeking validation from a witness? Yes, le court every day. I'm horrified. Mshololo said that the witness understood what he said, what she was saying, and now the judge was like, no, but he understood it wrong. I'm like, Evan. So you're in Brigadier Ngininda's head to know that whatever he understood it wrong. I give up. Mshololo said, okay, let's leave it for argument, And today on Aishem, I felt it. Mshololo, hi. But you handled it so well. She handled it well. I can't complain. So after the separation, the statement of Constable Zungu had not yet been obtained, and Mshololo referred Brigadier Ngininda to where Constable Zungu met with Leshabane and Warrant Officer Makubo. Now, this was very interesting where she read the part where Warrant Officer Makubo said that he was lying. Zungu was lying, and he must reveal his source. So Warrant Officer Makubo said that he arrested Nkani in KZN and he was not involved in this matter of Senzo Meyiwa. He accused Uzungu of coming to them with baseless information, and he demanded that he brings that source that he was talking about. And Mshololo then said to Brigadier Ngininda that when Zungu was asked to reveal the source of this information before he met with you, he could not give the sources to the police officers that he was talking with. Ngininda said that in the record, it does not indicate that it happened on that date before he met him. He says that he was already appointed because his name was being mentioned. Zungu came to the office of the National Commissioner and they were already talking, according to Brigadier Ngininda, and he said that he was not there. But in principle and police practice, you never ask a police officer to reveal their source. How do you reveal a source? How do you ask another police officer to reveal a source? Because a source, you protect that person. But you don't reveal a source in our natural practice. This felt like a jab to Warrant Officer Makubo and Lieutenant Colonel Buthelezi. Of professionalism, to say that maybe they were not being professional by asking Zungu for a source. And then at the same time, I'm like, this protection narrative around sources, I usually hear it from journalists. I don't know if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
That thing of do not reveal your source. I usually hear that type of language from journalists. It was my first time hearing it from a police officer, a lead investigator of a case. I'm not saying he's wrong or right, but what I'm saying is I usually hear this type of language from journalists. Then Mshololo read that he received a call from Colonel Buthelezi after the meeting. This is Zungu's statements he had with Warrant Officer Makubo. They agreed to meet at McDonald's in Captain Park, and she was with Warrant Officer Makubo. She asked Zungu to share the information that he shared with Warrant Officer Makubo, and she further asked him about his relationship to the suspects. She asked if he was related or knew Kelly Kumalo, and then Zungu said that he told her that he doesn't know her, nor is he related to her except for seeing her on social media. And Zungu said that Lieutenant Colonel Buthelezi accused him and General Leshabane of trying to protect Kelly and shifting the blame to the suspects. She said that she has evidence that implicates Kelly in the murder, and that shooter was one of the people in the house. So Zungu said that he disagreed with her based on that information that he had, and Ngininda said that there's nowhere where Warrant Officer Makubo and Buthelezi met with General Leshabane. Ngininda also said that that is not how an investigation is done. Furthermore, attacking Warrant Officer Makubo and Lieutenant Colonel Buthelezi, he said that you do not dismiss information that is brought to you to investigate. And I'm like, oh, listen, saying the same person who dismissed the officer's statement who alleged to have seen Mangena take a cartridge from the door. Okay. So he says that he can't dismiss based on your views. And then Mshololo said that, in other words, two police officers who were wrong for rejecting the evidence of Zungu, you are saying that they were wrong. And Ngininda said, no, I don't want to cast aspersions, but you can't without evidence dismiss the information you investigate. Ngininda said that when Zungu met with him, he never asked for a source. Uti Uzungu just volunteered his father without Ngininda asking him to. I don't know how that works out, but that's kind of the gist of what he was saying. Then Mshololo said, how did you trust the information that was given by a police officer who had been sitting with information from 2014 up until 2019 without disclosing it to any of the police? Ngininda said it's not a question of trust, it's a question of investigation. When information is given to you, investigate. The outcome will lead you to the truth. And if you simply investigate, you'll get to the proper outcome. And then Mshololo asked for an adjournment. She said that she misplaced some of her questions and the records she intended to use, and she will proceed on Monday. So Baloyi and other counsel had no objections to it, but Jonas, on the other hand, said he was swamped on Monday and Tuesday. The interpreter, Ubab Jonas is the interpreter. He said he's got interviews the whole day on Monday and Tuesday. Baloyi said that the term was actually supposed to end today. And I was like, no wonder why I'm feeling so tired. So you guys are supposed to finish on Friday. But he said that he made special arrangements for court to sit the next week, the entirety of next week. He will arrange Mr. Ngobo. Mr. Ngobo, khuluma kanjena. Khuluma kanjena, mama. So apparently Advocate Mshololo was saying that they are complaining, they're accused that they can't hear him.
Man, you can't do that, man. You went for a juggler on someone's work, I'm
sorry, but I agree.
No, but I think to be honest, Mshololo wanted a postponement in any case up until
tired.
Wednesday. Yes. And then now, that is like what I'm not happy about is stepping on someone's food.
Oh, the way to
I mean, we can laugh about it. We can say the way we want to say it.
But he needs
but
the
this
job.
is someone's food. That's a fact.
But then what happens when you are not improving on the job? Like, what do we do? It's a very complex, because the thing is, the accused are saying that this is crucial. This witness is crucial. They want to hear everything that this witness is saying. And then he cuts stuff short. Like, he super summarizes. They are not getting full context, maybe. I don't know, guys. It's very hard. And I don't want him to lose his job. I don't.
No, uyazi ukuthi ngizokhuluma nje iqiniso for the first time.
Yeah.
That guy is more Zulu than Jonas.
But what happened?
Wait, let me finish. I think what happened, I've listened to him. Yes, he does get some of the things wrong now and then, in terms of translating them to Zulu or even hearing sometimes, because people talk for long, more so Ngininda. But let's be honest, that guy, it cannot be that they are not hearing him. It's not the issue of hearing. Maybe sometimes he misinterpret. Yes, I can agree to that. But if he can fix his speed, I think he can be better than Jonas in terms of interpreting that case. He just, for me, it's a speed. And then, because he doesn't have much of speed, Jonas makes mistakes. A lot of them.
Yeah, he does.
But because of his speed,
yeah,
it's like he's saying proper stuff. This guy is easy to highlight because he's
and another
slow.
thing I've noticed about Jonas is that he has a shorthand writing type of situation going on. So to be able to translate some of the things, he writes them down. It might be a shorthand writing, not full sentences. just to trigger.
But in all honesty, if Lomchita naye ngabe uyabhala,
yeah, ngabe
he would
uyabhala
be
naye,
good.
ne?
It's just that he is too. I think he wants to explain more. Let me put it like that. He wants to explain each and everything that is in the sentence. He is not up to speed with this thing of cutting shorts, things, summarizing.
But he super summarizes.
No. It's not super summarizing. If you say, okay, is this Zulu very say summarize? Ngampela, masikhuluma ngesiZulu.
Who will defend him?
No,
anybody to lose their job.
no. It's Zulu say summarize. Let us be honest. You can say one sentence in English and I'll summarize it for you.
I'm trying to think of
in one word. I can probably get that sentence in one word.
Not in one word. That's too much now. I'm trying to think of a sentence that you can translate for me.
Just read something here.
I am aware the moment the consultation and the leading of witness is done, that happens when you hand over to the NPA. Translate that.
Ngiyazi isikhathi what else did you say?
Okay. I am aware the moment the consultation and the leading of the witness is done, that is handed over to the NPA. But that's how Ngininda speaks.
Whoa. Pela, now I cut you. I'm not writing anywhere. I'm gonna cut you. Ngiyazi, I am aware. We are saying you count that I am aware. Ngiyazi, it's one word.
Okay.
I'm trying to show you how super summarized. I am aware. It's a sentence. In Zulu, igama Lord ngiyazi.
The moment the consultation and the leading of the witness is done.
Manje, the moment.
Mhlazani. Ukuluma no ini witness.
Manje.
Yeah.
And then the moment the what?
Ukuluma ne witness. The moment you speak to a witness.
Manje ukuluma witness manje ngathi nesizulu.
Fakazi.
Yeah, no fakazi. Yabo, it's Zulu summarize. That's what I'm trying to say. Most of these words, it's a sentence. It's Zulu, totally English, a whole long sentence. So you can't fault him. It's just super summarizes. Yes, because most of these words is one word. One word.
You know, I was super shocked when I found out that the native news readers, the native language news readers, your Setswana, Zulu, Sindebele, Xhosa, those I have a totally different respect for them now. They are saying that they literally translate in their head. Their news are written in English as you are reading. I heard it from Mumam Nokolo and I was shocked. I was traumatized. I was like, what?
No, but don't you get the script beforehand?
You do get the script, but then sometimes there are news that are embedded that are most recent from the time that you started preparing for the news.
But it takes practice. You can. It's practicing.
I tried reading the ATM in my home language.
No, it's because it's
the drums.
No, it's because you don't get a script. Even the actors, most in media side, it's like that. Most even the actors, you are given the script. You are given the script mostly in English.
Yes.
And then you have to act it in Zulu.
Yes.
Do you understand? That's how it is.
That's like,
So they get time. These people, they by maybe an hour.
Yes.
Maybe you should have respect for this guy who are interpreting in court, because Bona, they are hearing that thing for the first time. Yes, those people I would have respect. It's not that it's pre-recorded and then they go.
No, but the news are live. They're not pre-recorded.
No, they are written though. Do you understand? You are going through a teleprompter.
Saying that they are translating
beforehand. Yes, as they're busy with the makeup, we are busy looking good to how am I going to put this one? How am I going to put this one? How am I going to put this one? It's not like they come to you email and say, here's a teleprompter. Wow, I see. Translate. As the teleprompter is going, you will never even say a word because it's vying, most it's moving.
I would be struggling. Ngiyanhlonipha nonke.
Mina umuntu engihloniphayo umuntu otranslator into eyenzeka manje.
It's not easy.
And maybe that's the reason why this guy is slow.
Yeah.
Because he has to process everything.
I respect you guys. And it could drive me crazy.
And as you translate, like who Jonas has been doing these things for ages now. As you translate, do you understand? As you translate, you learn these words. So now when someone says something like that, you know where to find it in your head. You know where to find it. You know where to find it. It's like you create your own vocabulary. So this guy, in my opinion, is not that old. Take, for example, interpreter in Ngizwe's case.
I get that one, Zulu.
No, it's not even about being Zulu, but that interpreter is not. He's not speaking.
He understood Ngizwe and what
he's not speaking the low level English. I mean Zulu. He was speaking proper Zulu, and that is even harder because now you are speaking proper Zulu. Yeah, that is even harder. We call it higher grade Zulu, for example. That guy, he was interpreting for Ngizwe to like he's used to this.
I respect to all you court interpreters because
right, guys, Bafetu, Angas, near news, like the people were complaining that hey, we don't allow the lines, but people don't call anymore.
Yeah, people don't call anymore, guys.
People don't call because we normally are late.
Yeah, we're late and stuff.
Maybe tomorrow if we are not tired.
And also, like, sometimes I would cut it short. I used to do it in the past. And then there'd be no phone calls. And I'm like, Aibo, guys, am I supposed to sit here for the...
Mzansi, hello. Hello?
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Just a few points.
Yeah.
The first part is about obviously Mshololo. You know that part where judge was correcting Mshololo a few times.
Hey.
That last time where the judge corrected Mshololo and about the evidence. And that's not how she's supposed to put the evidence. Was the evidence discovered or not? And Mshololo claps back and says, no, others will understand. So she's basically saying when this goes to another court, they will understand what she's talking about.
Yeah, that's
what she was trying to say when she was responding there, you know. The other part is about Uzungu. When Makubo is saying to Uzungu, who's your source? Uzungu is supposed to say, I'm the source. What do you mean, who's your source when I'm the source when I was there? He's supposed to say, I'm the source. Obviously, he can't, he was never there. This incident never happened with him around. He was never there. He's lying when he's saying, no, I can't reveal the source, whatever nonsense. And it's a whole trumped up, messed up story. He was the source. Then how can he say, I can't reveal the source when he was there?
Yeah.
That tells you it's all nonsense. The translation part of it, as we're discussing now, is I think a translation is difficult. I've got a respect for those guys. I think Ubabngobo inkinga yakhe isingisi. I think buya ngasibambe kahle isingisi, but more importantly, because he's always complaining about defense and stuff, he also blocks the flow of defense when he over explains.
Yeah.
And then Mshololo and the Omnis, whatever, they want to go on and on. They've got the next question lined up and he blocks their flow. Therefore, Mshololo is going to say no, accuse Abamuzwa, because they don't want him because he blocks their flow. So that's the other main reason being I'm full. Yeah,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah.
And then just one more thing. I'm not sure how Mshololo can put this in a nice way to the judge. The way he belittles her, he must put it on record. She must put on record, where she's supposed to tell him, my lord, thank you for correcting me, but I'm sure there could be a nicer way my lord could tell me that.
Yes.
Because I'm sure I'm not the only one or the first one who's not used the correct grammar. But the tone, my lord, it doesn't come across as nice. Could my lord address that in a nicer way? Because it doesn't come across as nice. Thank you for your help, my lord. I'll do better next time. Thank you. Just that, you know, jab him without stabbing him. Just a small jab. Just a small one. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for that suggestion and the call. It's been great. But yes, I wonder if she can manage to squeeze it into the record in that way.
Someone is saying, I think this person, I'm not going to mention the name. Okay, it's fine. Let's just hear the call. Mzansi, hello? Mzansi, hello.
Good morning. Hi, guys.
Morning.
I can hear that you guys well. It's quite weird that you guys, there were some comments in the comment section about you taking more calls, that you should take more calls and stuff like that. But then also at the same time, too, people are complaining that people like me and other callers, we call all the time, we call every day. So I don't understand what do people want? Like, if they want more callers, but then they don't call in. And then when the regulars call, they also have a problem with people calling in.
Yes.
So I don't understand then what do we want? How do you strike a balance? Like because I don't know how you guys are going to work this out. So should we not call in because we call every day, but then also when we don't call, nobody calls?
No, you should call in.
You know what I mean? You do it, it's a problem. You don't do it, it's a problem. But people like us calling every day because we're trying to contribute, and people will be like, hey, this lady is always calling in, she calls every day. But then when we don't call and say, okay, let us not call and give people an opportunity to call, they don't call in.
Yes.
And then they complain and say, oh, you don't take calls. So then what should you guys do then? No, I don't understand. But anyway, I will not stop calling. I mean, if people are irritated of hearing my voice, they can, it's up to them, because at the end of the day, we just call it.
Call whoever wants to call. We're not choosing. We're not, there's no preferential. As long as you are alive and your phone is there ringing, we'll pick it up. It's that simple, guys.
Thank you. I just want to make a comment about the infringement notices. I don't know how it works in South Africa, but over here, what happens is when you hire a car, obviously they take down your credit card details, right? When you hire a car, and then they will hold a deposit. They will hold some money on your card, which that money would be a deposit that they hold plus the amount of the rental. They just hold it. Yeah. When you return the vehicle, they inspect the vehicle to make sure that everything checks out. And then if all is good, then they release the money from your credit card. They take whatever they was due to them, and then you get back the rest of the money, right? But then because they already have your credit card details, let's say later on, maybe after 2 weeks, 3 weeks after they hired a car, they receive an infringement notice. When the infringement notice comes, that infringement notice, at the back of the infringement notice, it's like a form. They will then complete that part of the form to say who was driving the vehicle. Because when you hire the car, they've got your credit card details and they've got your license as well, right?
Yeah.
So they have your details and your address and everything. So they will complete that section of the infringement notice to say who was driving the vehicle during that time, and they'll put your address in there, everything, and then they send it back to the traffic department. And then the traffic department will then reissue a new fine to you. So don't understand in this case. Yes, if he was driving the car and he was speeding and the cameras captured the vehicle or whatever and everything like that, even though the fine was issued in the company's name because the car belonged to the company, the company should have his details, and the company would know that, okay, on this particular date, we had actually hired this car to this person.
Yeah.
And these are their details. Then they would contact the traffic department and say, this car belongs to us, but we are a company, and this is the individual who was actually driving the car. I don't know if in South Africa, when they issue a traffic fine, your ID number is on there or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
But with your ID number or your driver's license number, they should be able to track all infringement notices that are issued against your name.
Yeah, they should.
Yes. And also, if you guys have time, I sent you a text message, Mr. Anonymous. I don't want to mention anything on the thing. I just want you to go and check it out. Okay? I sent a message. Go and look at that message and pay attention to the first point that I put on the thing.
All right. No, we'll do so.
On the message. Yes, and then come back later on and talk about it if you feel comfortable.
Okay, we'll do so.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank
Bye.
you so much for calling. Yes.
We are appreciative. It is 4. It is closer to 4 now. It's about to be 4. Hey, we are still here. But it's Saturday, man. Why not?
Saturday.
Let us kill this thing.
Were late.
Zanzi, hello.
Zanzi Reality. How are you?
We're good, sir. How are you doing?
I'm fine, man. You're speaking to Danny.
Yes, Danny.
Yes. I just want to contribute 1 or 2 points.
Okay.
Yes. When was it? Mr. Ngumalo, when he was the accused number 4 advocate.
Yes.
He was putting the version of accused 4 on record when he was closing.
Yes.
I felt like he came a bit short because he was doing the timelines, okay?
Yeah.
And then after Judge Goch, and then the guys went to city center, right?
Yeah.
But he didn't put at 8:30, I think 2032, accused 3, which is Louis, received an SMS.
Yeah.
Which proves that he was still in Joburg.
Yeah.
I think he should have asked Ngininda to say at what time the Senzo was shot, and then he put it on record to say between 8:30 and 9 o'clock.
Yes.
And then he brings the 205s of accused number 3 to say this guy received an SMS at 28 minutes to 9. See, because since we all agree that he was in Joburg, is it possible that he can go to Force Rights, organize a hit, and also execute the hit at the same time? You see? I think you should have maybe closed it with that thing to say, because the court will act, even though it's on record, I think the court will act dumb and not look at that thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I felt like he didn't finish it with that thing to say. Even go beyond to the next morning to say, this guy wake up in Joburg the next day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
No, I hear you. Emphasis.
The other thing, yes. Mr. The IO, the investigation officer.
Yeah.
I felt like he's investigating as if he's doing an HIV test,
Yeah.
Because there's no actually a test for HIV. It's a test for antibodies, which are normal to everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what it does is sort of like you are testing for antibodies, but you don't know what's causing the antibodies to be active at that time. So he said, no, okay, it must be the virus, you see. Even though the antibodies activities when you detect them, they're not specific to say is a flu virus, whether somebody's pregnant or what. You just don't know because they are active, then it must be a virus. Like when you say this guy was driving the car, they got a ticket, they said, Mshololo said no, but there's no proof that he was driving. And he said, no, there's no proof that says he was not driving. So it must be him.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
That's how you approach this investigation.
No.
Yeah. No, okay, no. But the important one is in Nzumalo, and I think we should have included the time travel. Like, yes.
No, we hear you. But there's still time, and others can still put it.
Yeah, it's still time. I think the other guys can put it, maybe whatever. Maybe they strike, because it's important to argue that point, I think.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Mzansi, hello.
Yes. Hello.
Yes, how are you doing?
I'm good, Mr. Anonymous. How are you? And beautiful lady.
We are doing great.
Hi, you are doing great.
Yeah, all your analysis, as much as it's true, they are very depressing. So we are just consoled by the beauty of really over there. Whenever you share the light, as citizens, we get to be so depressed, because what we are actually doing is telling us that, look, Africans in Africa, this is how the justice system serves you. Because this is a true indication of who we are as a race to the white man justice. Yes. And it shows that these judges, these prosecutors, they are just there to serve the white men into continue to torment and victimize Africans. I like the previous caller when he advocates about taking the battle now to the judge. I wish the defense can further take the battle by reminding the judge that no matter what we do in this court, the reality is the population of South Africa, blacks in particular, they can see that how ordinary Africans are being treated by this justice system. Amongst others, remind Ngininda to say, listen, a number of times, in fact, they should go back to the record and count accurately how many times he has said, I don't remember. And further to that, they must also make sure that when he says he doesn't remember, they must ask him why.
Yeah.
Why you cannot remember, Mr. Ngininda? And then if he doesn't answer, or he answers, then they said you came to a conclusion that these alleged accused must be prosecuted for not remembering where they were, Mr. Ngininda. Because this is very, very sad. And as for the judge, that old man, I don't know. I don't know how does he live with himself. It's painful. It's painful how we are treated as Africans, because this is a true reflection of how people get to be arrested. There was a video some time ago when a security had battered a black man on national television, but he could not do the same, And, there is here in cases, and there is a case of a guy who was accused of killing one of the IFP's leaders in KZN. And that guy was arrested. He's out of jail because apparently a person who did that wrote a suicide note explaining what actually happened. Yeah. The guy is out. The question is how he got into prison. Was the investigation done? They should brought all of that in court. Although it's not a case law, it's not a closed case where you can, or there is a ruling about that, but it shows how police, when they're serving Africans, they do not care. The treatment we get is better than the treatment that a white person serve or treat their dogs. We are nobody in the world. You know, at some point in my life, I lived in the UK. I want to tell you, Africans, wherever they are, the struggle is one. As we are speaking today, as we are speaking now, there's an African somewhere in the world who is complaining about not being treated fairly. It made systematically. You know, listening to this case, I'm very, very scared of the police. It shows you can be arrested and be convicted for absolutely doing nothing.
Hey.
You know, so this is threatening, and I think now it's just that, you know, sometimes, you know, when you are in a career, you tend to protect it, you know. Even I think with the lawyers, they don't want to ridicule their field, but this is the time to talk politics in that court. You know, this is the time to quote people like Steve Biko, you know, to quote people like Marcus Garvey, you know, to fight the battle of Africans against the justice system of this world. Because now it's about time to talk to that judge's conscience. To say, if I was there, I would have told him that as a man, when you die, you live for one thing, that no generation must spit at your grave for what you have done to your own nation. You are condoning, you are relegating these young men, and now they need somebody to help. You know, I would have brought the kids of the accused to the court to protest, even with the case of the ID of their father. If I was part of the team, I would have organized for the kids to be there, to demonstrate inside the court, to say, why are we being prosecuted because of our father being here for the wrong reasons? Why then do we have to suffer? Why then his generation has to suffer? We want our father's ID now, you know, just to put pressure, because there is no other way. And because even the media is not helping. You know, they are silent. With Ngininda now talking, they are very, very silent. It shows you. It shows you. And when I look at those journalists, what is the role of the journalist? You know, these guys, I don't know what they think. You know, I don't know how they live with themselves, you know. For everything you do, you know, as an African, you're fighting the battles of the past and of the upcoming generation to fight to be human in this world. We are nobody in this world. We might have few that have money who seem to be somebody. You know, I remember Louis Farrakhan when he says that Africans are just mannequins in the shopping mall of democracy. They are dressed up nicely. When you look at them, you admire how they are being staged and advertised in the shopping mall. While under those garments and all these nice dresses, there is nothing. There is a lifeless man who cannot think, who is made to take a posture and then be admired by people, potential buyers. You know, it's sad, guys, you know.
Yeah.
It's very, very painful. I don't know. And it's clear that this case is not going to finish now if there will be an appeal. These guys are not budging. I think the judgment or the ruling is already written. Because I notice whenever there is a point that is brought by the defense, I always notice if he takes notes or not. Half of the time, he doesn't take notes. And then the question is, he's going to use what he writes, the notes he takes for the judgment, you know?
Yeah.
So it made clear to me that, this guy, his mind is set. There is a judgment and everything, because if I was also thinking, I said, if Gibson Kente was still alive, Ngininda is a good playwright. What he's doing currently, if you grew up around the times of Gibson Kente would have identified his talent.
Yeah.
It's sad. I don't know. It will take these guys to talk to their conscience and do the right thing. But they've made up their mind. These guys will be sentenced. Let's wait for an appeal. That's all. They must just argue this case for the appeal. That's all now they need to do. They must argue this case for the appeal, because there's nothing they can say to convince the judge. And these lawyers, they must work together. Whoever was cross-examining whoever, if there's any gaps they did not close, the next judge must, cement that part, come and close those gaps, irrespective of what, now they work so independently by the way of how they take on Ngininda. Because there are questions that one must take from each and every lawyer that was cross-examining Ngininda. Because as a listener of this case, there are lots of questions that I've developed listening to answers or questions being given, listening to that this question was not answered right, I don't know, guys. It's late now. I feel sorry for you. Sometimes I will listen and disappear while I'm trying to listen, and I will not maybe wanting to make calls. I know your job, because you have to listen to this case during the day, and but your work is very, very good, guys. And there is lots of information that you share that I think can be very useful in this case.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll keep up the good work, guys. Thank you very much. And you are fighting the battle too. Don't underestimate what we are doing. We are fighting the battle. As much as all the information you dish out, it's so painful, because you are giving us a true reflection of how this justice system works. And it's painful. For every wrong an African does as an African, it's like when you hear a rape story, when it's told as a man, it's embarrassing. There's that moment of being embarrassed to say, it's like when you see a woman and somebody says she was raped. It gives you that thought, I wonder how this woman look at me, as a man. It's, I feel that way, when I listen to this case, I say, if you mess with the police, you can end up there and go down the drain for nothing.
Yeah, see, Kotrela. Siyabonga, thank you. Sharp.
Thank you.
Yeah, right. Thank you guys for calling. I don't know if there was someone who still wanted to call. Yeah, let's take this call. Mzansi, hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Morning, family. How are you?
Good,
Hi,
you're
hi.
good.
I'm good, thanks. Guys, I'm just sorry about Mshololo. Do I think after Mshololo, Mshololo is coming back? If he is coming back, how strong will be?
Yeah, Ngomez is going to come back strong. Don't worry. It's good for him not being there. I think it reduces the cost, in my opinion, for the accused number one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And okay, another thing. I think the defense, they're asking right questions, but Ngininda is just blocking them by giving millions of answers instead of giving one answer. because he's doing that, he wants to convince the judge about his story, but you are spitting and Ngininda. And the judge said nothing about it. Manga baby complain, oh, defense was okay. Just answer the question being asked. No, leave me to explain. So yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, but guys, I still blame Kelly Kumalo until this day because I feel like Kelly to mastermind party ekugcineni kwale case kuzothiwa abukufakaza about Kelly end of it. Yeah, will be end of it. So I still blame Kelly.
Yeah.
Udlala iphathi enkulu kule case Kelly, but yeah, what can I say?
What can we say?
Yeah, nothing we can say. So I love you guys. Bye.
Thank you very much. We love you too.
Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts.
Right. Yes. Well, it's in the morning on Saturday. Right. If you still want to say something, just say it, because I don't want this thing of saying, yeah.
Guys are not opening the call.
Yes, we are feeling sleepy, but say it.
Let's just say
it. Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello.
Hello, Mr. Ano.
Hi, say, how are you?
I'm good. How is your family?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Now I've put my contribution.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't understand when Kina said that how was Zungu supposed to disclose his... Who was he supposed to disclose? The investigator was asking him,
yes,
so that he can verify that information.
Yes.
So if you can tell the investigator, so who is he going to tell?
True.
What's him so special to an extent that he Ngininda is the only one who's up to everything. If you notice with Ngininda, when it comes to Ngininda, it doesn't go. You see people.
Yeah.
And then what is done, then he compiles information. And then when you know that information is putting them under the bus, you will say, I was not there.
Yeah.
That person was there. So basically, in other words, he's very sly. You understand? He knows that this information that is taken, once it is challenged, I will be in trouble. So I would rather shift the blame to another person, and then that person is already testified. You understand?
Yeah.
And then you just say, I'm sorry, I can't comment on something that I was not asked.
Yes.
And then there are also situations whereby he says, I'm not an expert.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You should ask the expert, whether it's Colonel Stain or Wars or Pinky, whatever. But when it comes to the ballistics, he's an expert. Do you understand?
Yes.
But when he's asked other questions, he will say, I'm not an expert.
Yes.
So I think the defense is supposed to say, your expertise is selective.
Yes.
There's some instances whereby you venture into a field that you are not proficient with. And then at the same time, and then also it's got what you call selective memory.
Yes.
Because I noticed that the statement of Singh was done 2023, 2024. He can't remember his conversation with Zungu. Sometimes he's asked how many people were in the room. He says, I can't remember, but I know that there were other people. 2023. But he remembers what happened in 2014. He will tell you that this person is very specific and accurate, and he cannot be challenged.
Yeah.
But things that happened in 2023, he will tell you, I can't remember. If he's asked who was there, I can't remember. And then lastly, that guy was called from, what was Mshololo, the guy from Cleveland who keeps the guns.
Lamini and
It was, I mean, okay.
And
I think that guy, if they go to the record, he said the day when Mangena came to collect the gun, Ngininda was there. If they can go back to the record,
yes.
the person that was talking to the guy was Mangena, but Ngininda was standing next to Mangena. Because in then that the both of them came, but the person that I was dealing with was Mangena, not Ngininda.
Yeah,
but Ngininda was there. If they could go and look in the record, they will find out that he was lying when he said, I did not go. I sent Mangena. The reason why he sent Mangena, because they know that they're going to manipulate the gun.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So at the end of the day, when that evidence is being challenged, you say I was not there.
Yeah.
He is the one that received. So it will be Mangena said against that guy who supplied the thing. But anyway, I thank you guys for what you're doing. You're doing a great, great, great job. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Correction, yes, it is Mchali.
It's Mchali.
Yes,
Yay,
thank you very much,
Mchali.
guys.
I've been looking for
Let's
name.
press that like button like we mean it. Please press it. I mean, why not live out here with 400? Yes, it is Mchali. Thank you very much for that
Mchali,
correction.
right
Yeah,
there,
guys,
right
ngicabanga ukuthi we have covered most scholars. And now,
Yes, we have.
yes. Mzansi, hello.
Hello.
Hi, sir. How are you?
I just want to caution those people who say they want to call, they don't have space because of people who are always calling.
Yes.
It is not easy to call a channel because calling is real-time thinking.
Yes.
It's not like putting words on the chat line.
Yes.
You must think while you speak, and you must have prepared during the case during the day.
Yes.
Now, it's not as easy as ABC to call the station. We do want to call many times, and I realize, I did not prepare anything. What am I going to tell these people?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so no one must complain about calling, because some might even have that space to call and say nothing that is relevant to what you are doing, guys.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That's so true.
I also want to say I should have said my name properly. Ben Hay.
Ben Hay.
Ben Hay.
Yes, our member. Let me see.
Yes.
Ben Hay.
No, thank you so much. I just wanted to caution those people who say they want to call when they don't even have prepared during the day.
Thank you.
I woke up late today because my mind took a detour and I just woke up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Ben.
Okay, fine. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Right. This is keeping us awake.
Yes, that is absolutely right.
Yes, thank you very much for that.
You're like a host as well. So
Yes.
think of yourself like that. You call and we talk about.
Yes. Right. Please press that like button, and we appreciate you guys. I think in Kavenonk. Yes, I think I saw one person I missed, but it's okay. If you make a slot, then you will call again. The
Yeah.
call is always available.
Ngininda, hopefully.
Yeah.
I saw even Advocate Balo is insisting that
You want to, my lord,
but-
Ngininda must be done by the end of this year.
We
We are all tired. There was nothing special about it, in my opinion. Mzansi, thank you, all of you. But I will never leave you if you call. Mzansi, hello.
Hello, Mr. No.
Hi, how are you?
I just want to add onto what the other caller was saying about the treatment of black people, like especially black men. I will say black men. What's happening, the treatment of black men is horrendous. It's painful to watch because the pain is inflicted by another black man
Yes.
for their personal gains, the personal gains for material things at the expense of the life of a human being
Yeah.
at the expense of the future of another generation from another black man's family. Remember, those materialistic things that you're going to gain, you are just going to gain and use them for the time being, but you've destroyed an entire human being. You've destroyed an entire generation.
Yes.
You see, I always say, like, as black people, why can't we uplift one another? You know, where we live here, we live with white people. I tell you, there are some professions whereby you know that these are no-go areas for black people. You will never get a job in those areas because there is a first cousin of a first cousin of another first cousin. That's how it works. And those places, they're always reserved for them, whether you like it or not, whether you're educated until, I don't know, until the highest level, you know, it's like those places are reserved for them. And it's how they do things. And I began to think, like, as Africans, why are we not able to do such, right? What continent are we building if we keep on behaving in the manner in which black people in the upper echelons of the society, like those men in court, and, you know, particularly that man in the red gown, I expect him to be a leader. I expect him to be the one who sets an example. If a wrong is wrong, it's wrong. If you see that the acts of Ngininda are coming up with all these lame statements, that we all see that this is lies. Why can't you call a spade a spade? Do something right for once. You see that behavior of that man in a red gown. It's no different from the behavior of African politicians. You know, it's no different. Like he's just getting there, and it's starting from there. And we are witnessing politics in the High Court.
Yeah,
you see, it really hurts me. You see what's happening in America? It's the same thing. A lot of black men, they're in prison. The future of black men in America is in shambles. Why? Because of that mentality that resembles those people in high places, right? Like the legs of that man in the red gown. I will always refer to him because I can say he's the elder in there. He has to lead by example. You see, like now, he has lost respect. You see, people call him names. And it's not that he doesn't know. He knows, and he even says, oh, people say this about this. Why can't you change? Do something right for once. You see, that behavior that he displays in court and allows the likes of the investigating officer to run his mouth like never seen before, I really don't understand. It's high time in Africa where we have to change things, right? Let's uplift a black man. Let's not oppress one another. I'm so, I'm really hurting. I'm really hurting. You know, what that caller said, like, it really stuck in me. Like, I'm beginning to see a lot of things. You see, in work, we put 101 effort because of my skin color. They might not say it, but like we see it. So when you perform, you have to give your best shot plus, right? And I always say, like, it's not like we want to settle here. No, we want to come back home. But like when people who are meant to be our leaders at home behave in that manner, where will we go when you grow old? No one wants to grow old in these lands. No one wants to live in a nursing home. We also want to go back home and enjoy our continent. We go back home with the expertise and enjoy our continent with our brothers and sisters, all being happy, right? You see that ID issue. that man was about to destroy the generation, the future of those children. For what? Materialistic gains. I can go on and on and on and on, but let me give others a chance. And thank you for everything that you do, Mr. Anonymous, Miss Emily.
Thank you.
We are nothing without you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
Bye.
You too. Thank you so much, guys.
Right, Bafwetu. Not to Mr. Anonymous, I wanted your opinion on what was said by Rata. That is not proper for Mshololo to ask Ngininda to go verify if the building indeed was George Koch or Basutung Hostel. Because, I mean, the truth is not something that court is all about, in my opinion. So you're about to find the truth, and what do you expect? You're going to come back to court and you must tell the truth, obvious. So that's a problem. So we must find all the ways to stop that. Yeah. And threatened if we can, in my opinion. That's basically what was happening.
So how does he stop? He's used this trick so many times before. It becomes like you are falling into a trap.
Yes.
When you're backing up
you take his advice, you're falling into a trap. So basically, didn't want Ngininda to go there.
And
that's all I can say.
It was George Koch or not. Or to even compare with the cell phone records, the pictures.
Yes.
The time frames.
Right. Bafwetu, thank you very much. We appreciate you. We are nothing without you. In fact, we appreciate you. And until we see each other.